So whatever you want to focus on, whether it's on-page strategy, e-commerce strategy, affiliate strategy, making more money with your website, conversions, AI detection, or just rolling out AI or Google algorithms, or growing your agency, whatever it is, I am happy to dive into it. So let's start with right now with the chat. And all right, cool. Yeah. And also, if you're not using on page yet, you should be, but I will also be answering questions regarding that. All right, cool. So let's start right now. So Adam asks, does my software help determine keyword cannibalization? I'm running into issues with knowing how many keywords to target. For example, mold removal. No. So the tool won't necessarily be doing keyword cannibalization. So you will, this is not, it's the on page is not necessarily a tool that will determine if you have two pages on your website that are competing for the same term. So kind of let me explain just for other people that might not be up to speed on what it is. So keyword cannibalization, I think I'm spelling it properly, is when you have two terms on your website or two articles on your website that are competing for almost the same thing. So let's say I'm going for the term how to talk to girls. All right, there you go. And then this is going to be like the term I want to rank for. And then I start writing another article, which is how I talk to girls, right? And then you could have another one, how to talk to women and all that. And then all of these are basically the same article. So Google will see this as keyword cannibalization, where all these articles will be competing against the exact same term, and that will usually hinder your rankings more than anything else. Sometimes, actually, two of them will rank on for the query, but most of the time when you have too many, it actually hurts you. So what you want to do if you want to rank for something, let's say this main term is you want to have a spread of keywords, topical authority keywords. You want to have supporting content. So instead of saying talk to girls, it would be how the next article you might want to have is going to be on conversations, how to have engaging conversations. See, this is different enough and yet is on the same topic. And you could have another article would be like how to have fun conversations with guys, right? So this could be another social article, which will also be related to the main one. So, and this could be talking tips and so forth. So all of these other documents at the bottom are now supporting the main thing at the top. So the way I usually look for keyword cannibalization, I'm actually going to use Ahrefs. So you could type in, I'll take amazinghomedecorco.com. You could use Ahrefs, and then you could usually go into organic keywords. And inside your organic keyword, and by the way, I'm not affiliated with Ahrefs at all, but there's a place where you have the parent keyword. So you're going to have organic keyword, you're going to have parent keyword. I'm not finding it right now. Oh, I have my thing here. So where is it? My God, I was using a tool and we had this, and we were able to see the parent keyword. And I'm no longer finding it, but this is how you would identify the pages that are overlapping when you have two pages that are ranking for the same thing, and they have one is going to be the parent keyword, the other one is not. So I'm going to kind of keep on going. Hopefully that kind of, oh, by the way, I want to show something is, look here, this will actually, on page will give you these suggestions. So on page will give you the topically related suggestions or topics you could to write about. So let's say I go and I want to rank for cleaning a stone fireplace. This is my term. If you scroll all the way to the bottom, and we're actually improving on this as well, but if you scroll all the way to the bottom of the report, so I'm going to just go all the way out of the bottom. Here, you now have a section called supporting content. So these articles are going to be different than your main article, and they're going to be supporting. So for instance, this was how to clean a stone fireplace, I think. So look, it was I'm sorry, I went up. Cleaning a stone fireplace is our term, and so we're going to be talking about things that are different. So types of stones used for fireplace safety tips, how to choose the right cleaning products for stone fireplaces, the benefits of sealing a stone fireplace. And all of these terms right here are going to be related to the to your main term, but they are not going to keyword cannibalize it. So that's really the main use of this. All right, cool. How do I go? Okay, so well, Vaughn asked, sorry, I'm mispronouncing your name, but how do you go about getting a keyword topic cluster to get terms to write about? Hey, oh, this is perfect. Yeah, okay, actually, that's hilarious. Okay, so I didn't even see your question, but this is exactly this. This is literally this is what we developed, and what you could even do, and this was actually developed, like, let me take the original example. Here, how to talk girls. This might take a little, I didn't put a compare page. You don't need to put a compare page, and you're going to get suggestions. And then the suggestions that we were writing are quite literally the ones right here. So this is a very easy way if you want to have extra articles that's supporting content and not keyword cannibalized. So let me kind of dive in and show you how this looks from a visual perspective. It looks like this. All right. So here, what you're going to have is you have your main term that you want to rank for. So this is going to be your main money page. Whoops, main money page, main keyword. Let's do it. Main keyword. There we go. This is what you want to rank for. And then you're going to get your supporting content 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, depending, just build up your topical authority. And the harder this is to rank for, usually the more supporting content you're going to want to have. So this is a very, very, very difficult keyword. Then you're going to have more supporting content. And then you want to make sure that this supporting content is ranking and it has backlinks pointing back to it. And then it's going to increase this. So the main difference between just ranking an easy keyword and a very difficult keyword is you just need more of this second phase. And of course, I use on-page to create all this second phase. So let me go back here. Okay, cool. So now we have a report done. So let me kind of go down and show you. So we have all the suggestions, and I didn't put a compare page, so we don't get to see how our page fares, but these are all the words that you could add to the page, all the extra words that you could add to the page to build relevance. And now let's scroll to the bottom, see what happened. Okay, cool. So these are all supporting content articles that you could write about that would help you rank about talking to girls that are not that are not that going to keyword cannibalize. So here, understanding the psychology of communication, how to build self-confidence, importance of body language, how to make a good first impression. Hopefully you can see how good these are, where what we're seeing right over here is going to be this line right around here, the supporting content. So if you want to build a website really quickly, this is the ideal way to do it. And on top of that, what we did, we tried to figure out the entire make everything easy for you. You could actually just send all of these to the stealth writer. So I'm going to click on it right now. I just sent all of these to the stealth writer. So now I sent 10 articles right here to the stealth writer, and you can just click create and start creating, you could create a whole bunch of 10 articles with a click of a button, and then you could get them on your website. And so hopefully you can see how easy and quick you could scale up for anything. You're like, okay, well, cool. I want to rank for whatever your keyword is here. I need supporting content. Now you just go to the bottom, send it to the stealth writer, get it written for you, and there you go. You have it. So SEO has gotten really easy over the past 3 years or so with the new developing of these technologies. And what's crazy is that Google has not adapted. Google's been developing their algorithm for the past 15 years. And the 15 years of that Google algorithm doesn't account for SEOs being able to produce this so quickly or so easily. This entire thing, like Google is still catching up. Google cannot, it's almost like a cheat code. I don't know, I can't even emphasize how crazy it is and what type of era that we're living in, where you're like, okay, cool, I need to do this entire thing and I want to do it. Like before, doing this entire thing without software would take weeks. Quite literally, you'd have to have a campaign and you'd be working on it. And now I could pump all of this out in a single day, even I say a few hours, because if I wanted to create these articles right here, I could literally create them as we go. Like it's just so easy. In fact, okay, hold up. Let me do 3. So as we talk, I'm gonna answer more questions, but I'm just gonna create articles here. So I'm creating articles as we're talking. You're gonna get to see live articles being created. Let me go back to the chat, make sure everyone's on the same page. So right now, if you're not familiar, I'm using the Stealth AI Writer, which creates entirely a topically helpful content that passes our AI detection with the input of a single word. right? And I've never built these articles, and they're going to be unique. They're also going to pass AI detection, and they're going to be helpful. So let me kind of go over what I mean by that. In fact, let me show you. I'm going to segue into, I'll keep on answering questions, but let me show you one of the things that I'm kind of surprised about, because we have a website and we do I do tests on this website, but this website's been around for a very, very long time. It's an abandoned website. So we haven't maintained it. We haven't done anything. But recently we posted an AI article. So here you go. So you can see this. I'm showing you behind the scenes stuff here. So hopefully you guys appreciate this, inside look. But on the website, if I look at Tinder account under review, this is by far the most popular page of the website at the moment. It's getting 7 minutes average time on sessions. That means that when people land on the page, they're consuming, they're reading. This helps the website rank higher because Google looks at the overall engagement of a website. So when you have 7 minutes of time on page, that's excellent. It's superb. It's like as good as it gets, basically. This article, I'm going to open it up right here, is literally a copy pasted article from the Stealth Writer. So this is our Stealth AI writer wrote this article. We copy pasted it, and I told my team not to change a single word. Literally copy pasted, and they added images. And now it's the most popular page on the website, getting like 20% of the traffic just by copy pasting it. And it's beating out the freelance articles that I had my writers write. So I have paid hundreds of dollars to have these articles written, and the AI written article that we literally have here is beating it out. So let me show you right now what we just produced. In fact, yeah, so it's done now. And in this little time it took, we have understanding psychology of communication. We have a whole article here on a psychology of communication. It's 3,666 words. And if I do detect AI, it should pass. It's going to pass AI. We're going to have, it's 98% real. And if we scroll through, it is usually, I'm looking at the outline right now. It is a really, really good article, like really good article. The outline, like what's the psychology of communication, message versus interaction, verbal versus non-verbal cues, understanding communication, keeping open and listening, improving communication skills. It's also optimized. This is, so much work has gone into these articles and this creation process that I wanted to highlight it. And, it's one of the main things I wanted is when you have some of these articles, and if you're using, depending on how you're using these articles, I wanted to help and embellish the website, not be something that is just not helpful. So all of these are designed to be helpful for the user. They're designed to enhance your entire website. All right, cool. Let me go back to more questions, like just rapid fire here. Okay, cool. So Bill asks, did Google change the SERP results for our main short tail keyword, patio umbrellas, to commercial? Okay. From commercial to transactional pages only. Our informational pages are ranked are highly unseen. We never compete. Okay, cool. How do we regain the organic traffic in those in-depth articles? Okay, so this is I'm going to try to dive in. Since we're a smaller group, I'm going to dive in a bit deeper, but I think it's going to be really useful for a whole bunch of people. So let's go. I'll take this exact keyword right here, and we're going to go on Google and we're going to dive into search intent. And what Bill is essentially saying is when you type in patio umbrellas, right now, what's showing up is a whole bunch of commercial results, right? So just places that people could buy patio umbrellas. So if I click on, Home Depot or so, Home Depot here, I'm going to get a whole bunch of things for patio umbrellas. Now, the way Google determines what to show on the front page is what people click on. So one of the biggest drivers of what Google's going to display on page 1 is going to be click-through rate. So what Google's going to do is they're going to have, for a long time, they're going to have a whole bunch of informational type articles, and they'll see how many people click on each information type article. So if all the information type articles are getting, 1% click-through rate, and then people put in, and then Google flips it up and split tests and shows e-commerce results like actual products, and people click more on the actual products, then Google's going to learn over time that for this query, patio umbrellas, then this is a e-commerce term and show products. So over time, so initially, it might have been, you know, patio umbrellas was maybe informational. And then over time, it shifts over to like e-commerce based on click-through rate. So, whoops, click-through rate. So what I mean by click-through rate is how many people naturally click on it. So apart from creating a very like a year-long, like super like long-term click-through rate campaign to then click more on informational articles, you kind of have to go with the flow. So in order to rank for patio umbrellas, if Google has determined that it's e-commerce term, then you have to show options on how to buy that patio umbrella or patio umbrella. So that's what they're going to show. And the only way to kind of counter that would be to convince Google that I'm scrolling through and I see they're all commercial. Everything is commercial. You'd have to convince Google that that users want an informational result for that. Now, what I like to think of Google as an ocean and a body, like an ocean of water, and it's much easier to go with the flow rather than against it. So if I wanted to rank for this term, then I would actually just go create a product page, and at least in the eyes of Google, where people could buy and click instead of an informational page. So that's unfortunately, there is no quick fix. When the ocean shifts, you kind of have to adapt. So one of the ways that you could kind of regain traffic for your website if you've lost is literally just to start building out information about that website, like build terms that are revolved around patio umbrellas. But also keep in mind that some terms you're going to need an e-commerce store, and I think you have an e-commerce store. So one of the things, if you have an e-commerce store, you can start promoting what I really like and what I think is very underutilized is people building links and building links to their category pages. So I think when you have an e-commerce store, everyone's building links. This is like one of the big things that I've noticed. I've been consulting with e-commerce stores for over a decade. I've had two myself, almost three, actually, no, three. And one of the things, people always building links to homepage, bad, don't do that. Building links to the product pages, product page links is okay, but gold is linking to category pages. So we are literally looking right here. This is going to be Home Depot's category page, and Google placed it as #1. So you could buy, you have options to buy things, but you also have all the categories and subcategories. So that's one of my secret tricks, where when you build links to the category page, not only does it help you rank for the category, but it also helps every single product within that category rank even higher. So if you're doing any consulting, you want to seem like a hero for your clients, build to the category page, and then all the products are going to go up in ranking as well. So hopefully that kind of helps a bit. I'm going to keep on moving. I think hopefully I'm not spending too much time on each question. Hopefully, yeah, there you go. Why does it take so many, David asks, why did it take so many credits to optimize an article in the art editor? Started a tool. And okay, cool. Let me explain that. That's a great question. So let's go in the, actually, this is going to be fun. So I'm going to send one of these articles to the content editor. Oh yeah. If you ever go into the editor and you don't have a report, what you need to do, if you want to have a report, you click on submit, and it's going to go out and get an optimization report. Now, we would just release a brand new feature called Auto Optimize. Auto Optimize is unbelievable. It's my SEO dream when I was starting out. I never thought this would be possible. It's almost like I said, cheating at SEO, where you could click a button and it will automatically optimize it for you, adding all the words. Now, the way it works is we have to, there you go. So we get, first of all, this was a stealth article that I just put in, by the way, just so everyone, I might have done it quickly. We took a stealth article, we put it in, we already have 100% score for the stealth article, and you could take it even further. So if you want to take it further, what we have is we have the auto optimize button right here. So you click on auto optimize, and then you start selecting additional words to take it just to the next level. And you can start adding, like extra words, right? So here You could add up to 40 words at a time, which is absolutely crazy. You could even add custom words. So if I say, hey, put my name in there, so I could do that. There you go. So it's going to be start optimizing it based on the communication process and so forth. And I can just click start optimize. And it's going to tell me, look, it's 5,100 credits. Now, this is actually as cheap as it possibly can be because we use a lot of content or processing power and a lot of AI models and so forth to be able to accomplish this. What the system is doing, I'll click confirm. What the system is doing is it's actually going and reading your entire content. It's understanding the context in order to place these words. It's going to go and understand every single word of that, every single, we have a 3,000 word article here. It's going to go out and understand everything. And then it's going to see, okay, we have to add 18 words within context, either creating sentences or, or whatnot, or inserting it in the right place. And we do that 18 times or 40 times or whatnot. It's a ridiculous amount of resources. And which is why, I actually think this is the bare minimum so we don't lose money on the auto optimize. In fact, we don't, people won't even believe me, but we don't make money on the auto optimize. The auto optimize is there to encourage people to use on page and all the other features because auto optimize costs a ton of money to run. So it's very, 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 very intensive to do. And that's why, that's why it is the way it is. However, it is so crazy because to do this manually, to optimize, to just do this manually, historically, and by the way, if you want to do other things while it's doing this, you could always click on start new project and you can kind of go and there's going to be a beep as soon as it's done. But to do this manually, to optimize, let's say you're adding 20 words. Let's do 40 actually. You're adding 40 words. How long would this normally take? This would normally take typically 2-3 minutes per word, right? I mean, 2 minutes for at the bare minimum, 2 minutes per word. Let's go on the low side. So that means 80 minutes of optimization, right? That's crazy. Plus, this is not fun work. This is not fun optimization. This is the tedious, hurt your brain work. And this would take at least, an hour and 20 minutes, right? An hour and 20 minutes of time to optimize this article. Now you could literally click a button. There you go. Literally click a button and then have it optimized for you like that. So it's crazy. It just saved you like an hour and 20 minutes. You can see, look at everything that's been added. Now it's completely green. And if you're an agency, first of all, if you're ranking, this could maybe increase your rank. Like, I don't want to make any claims on how much it can increase your rank, but if you do this process and it increases your rank by X amount, that should be worth it in itself. If you're an agency and you're optimizing articles for clients, you could offer a client, here, I'll optimize 20 articles for you this month. And how much are you going to charge per article? Like, I mean, a low fee would be $100. That would be on the low end for an optimization of an article. Because remember, it's like an hour and 20 minutes, a lot of work to upload and all that. So you're looking at like just $2,000 of value for your optimization runs for 20 articles. And if you get a big package with on page, you could optimize hundreds of articles. Anyways, so that's kind of like my little spiel on the length. And the article cost ranges between 2,000 and 5,000 credits usually. So that's usually the range. Speaking of credits, say, okay, Cindy said, okay, I'd like an option to produce additional credits. That's perfect. That's literally why we have our tiers. So all our tiers here are everything is prorated, and the major difference between most of the tiers, except for the light, is going to be the AI credits. This is why they are there, and the reason they're there is you could upgrade and downgrade as you go. So if 1 month you're on the standard, you advance, and you're like, oh, I need a lot more credits, you could move up to the create, and then a month after you could kind of go back down and so forth. The only one that has less features is going to be the light. The light doesn't include the stealth rewriter and all that, but most plans, the main difference at this point is going to be the scans and also the AI credits. And we're really giving you a lot of AI credits. We're giving you 5 million credits in the Publisher 500, 1 million credits with the Create 100, and so forth. So that's kind of where we're at the credit option is to, you'd be able to change the plans. Okay, cool. So, okay, stealth rewriter. Oh my God. Okay. You're asking the best questions just to lead me into the cool things. Okay, cool. So let me show you the stealth rewriter. Someone asks about the stealth rewriter, and cool. Yeah, let me just dive back in. Actually, okay, I want to make sure I'm getting all the questions. Okay, cool. I'm going to answer, what types of edits do I usually do to stealth AI articles? I notice they repeat the main keyword too often. I haven't noticed that. Feel free to let me know. And if anything, what we've designed, or when I was designing the stealth AI writer, so a ton of work went into this. And also with the stealth AI writer, you actually have version 2, and we have version 3 coming out as well, where I just keep on improving it over and over again. But a lot of work has gone in to make sure that it doesn't repeat the word here. So here, understanding the psychology of communication, we have what is the psychology of communication once, and that's it. It's not mentioned anywhere else. And it's not going to be things that are very, like, if ever you've seen just generic writers, you're going to see that they repeat the word over and over and over again. Here, they're optimized for rankings. They are optimized to be helpful content. And we try to avoid as much as possible like repeating the word throughout. However, we do want to repeat the word. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, there's like a fine balance between repeating the word, but not repeating it too much. Because if you don't repeat it enough, you won't rank, right? So it won't be optimized, you won't rank. But if you repeat it too often, then it gets annoying, it just looks unnatural. So it is a fine balance. And in my experience, these articles rank absolutely insanely well. So that's kind of why yeah, anyways. So let me kind of dive into the stealth rewriter. Stealth rewriter is a great question. Stealth rewriter just takes content that was AI detected and then transforms it into unique content that passes our AI detection. So let me show you an example of this. I will take this. All right, okay, cool. So on the left-hand side here, I have an article that is detected as 99% fake. I clicked on stealth rewrite right around here. I click confirm, and then it rewrote it, and then it passed with 96% real. And at the same time, it actually created unique content. So this is actually a unique article when compared to the article on the left-hand side. So the main reason we kind of developed this was because people were using, we use the stealth technology that we use in the stealth writer, because people are using or are using, and I encourage you, use ChatGPT. Like, ChatGPT is an awesome tool, and a whole bunch of people are using ChatGPT, and they're coming up with like, oh, cool, I have some really, cool content, or I want to, use this content, but I don't want it to be detected, right? So what you do is, if you have let me show you another example, actually. So let me, where do I have it? Okay, cool. So on this website, I wonder if I could find some. On this website, a long time ago, what I had is let me go open the drafts. There you go. So I had people write articles for me, and unfortunately, they used AI writing, and it was completely AI detected. So what we did is we put them all on draft. So let me go see if this one is one example. Let me try to, okay, cool. So let me take this. So I'm gonna go and take this article, and I'm gonna see if this is one of those articles that is AI detected. So let me go into stealth rewriter. I'm going to paste it in here, and we're going to click on detect AI. So it's going to analyze. It's going to say, okay, cool. Yeah, there you go. So this is 99% fake. How often should I vacuum my carpet? And this is an article that I paid for. I think I paid $80 for this article, and we didn't publish it. Right now, we're on the draft. We're on the drafts here. I unpublished it because it, didn't pass AI detection. So we developed this AI stealth rewriter to actually, like, I could go here, I click confirm, and now it's going to rewrite this, and then it's going to pass AI detection. Now, what's really crazy about this is one of my friends discovered, this was an inadvertent mistake, but we actually created probably the world's best article rewriter. We discovered that this actually creates unique content. So this is now unique content. And if you check with copyscape.com here, we could actually, this content is now unique. Let me log in here. paste text or URL. And if I could go back to the on-page tool, if I take something like this, it should be unique. Actually, it shouldn't be published, but like this will be like, usually it'll be unique content. There you go. No results found. And this was published before and we just unpublished it. So it should still have a record of it. This creates unique content. So then what we had, my friend was like, you know what you could do? You could take the number one result, rewrite it, and then it should rank. So what we just created a recent experiment. This is fresh off the press recent experiment, is we typed in some keywords and we got them ranking. So here, for instance, resume recording. Okay, so what we did is, let me go to Google. We typed in, was it the guide to Hinge? There you go. So we took one of these pages that was top ranking pages. I'm just going to take like a random page here, and let me take, let me take one of these pages. And we took an article. I don't think it was this article. I actually don't even know, but we took an article. We copy pasted it into the stealth rewriter. So clear this, clear everything. We pasted it into the stealth whoops, I didn't even paste it properly. Where was it? Okay, so we pasted the article. Let me go back and take it. Okay, so we took their article. I'm trying to navigate back to our on-page thing. There we go. Cool. Sorry, bear with me, guys. Sorry, I'm breaking everything. Okay, so we pasted it back in here. We did a stealth rewrite. I'll do it right now. And then we pasted this article onto our website. So this is the article that we pasted. Definitive guide to Hinge, everything you need to know. We didn't actually write this. This is a rewritten article that we literally just took from some other place. And if I go back to Google now, I go guide to Hinge. Now, if I scroll down, we should find the website. I think it's on page 2. There you go. Okay, cool. Yeah. So here, hopefully you could see, Way Too Social, the guide to Hinge, everything you need to know. This is actually the ranking website. How hilarious is that? So not only did it make it past AI, but it also created a unique article that we were able to rank for that same keyword on our page, so on our website. So that's kind of the power of stealth rewriter that not many people, I guess, are utilizing at the moment, but it's incredibly powerful if you want to like build topical authority, if you want to rewrite stuff, if you want to use AI content. This is absolutely crazy. Okay, cool. So let me I know we're going, I'm not even catching up on the questions here, but okay, cool. If the article generated shows detectable by another AI from another engine, from another site, but not within the on-page AI detector, should we still have a human edit these to be safe from future Google updates? That's a great question, and I do want to address that. So what essentially Ed is saying, let me load up a stealth article. Cool. So here, when we take this article, we have our own AI detection, and it passes AI detection. Now, the AI detection that we use is the same one that Google referenced inside their research paper. So here we have, was it a research paper? Oh, where is it? Okay, cool. So here, Google published a research paper, and they said they use the Roberta-based GPT detector, which is exactly what we use inside OnPage in order to get the best idea of what Google thinks. Now, there's a whole bunch of companies online right now, and it's like, should you trust AI? Should you not? And Google's openly stated that out of the box AI content is not to be trusted. So that's why we want it to pass AI detection. But they also said AI content is okay as long as it's helpful. So the main thing that we're focusing on with our AI detection is, first, is it contributing to high on-page time? Like, are people staying on the website? Are they reading? Are they consuming? If that is good, then usually Google goes along with it. However, and also passes the AI checks. However, there are other things. We want to make sure that it passes our AI detection at least to a minimum. And here's why. Because when Google's coming out with an algorithm, okay, cool. So the biggest issue with AI detection these days is going to be false positives. This is the biggest issue that's happening right now. And when Google's deploying an algorithm that's going to affect the entire internet, all of it, the entire internet, Google has to err on the side of caution, right? They have to be careful and not have too many false positives, because then you're going to have pretty much every single website in the world right now is using some sort of AI. So they have to err on the side of caution so they don't end up penalizing 99% of the websites in the world, right? However, on the flip side, you have these brand new AI companies, detecting companies, that started getting a lot of customer complaints. When GPT-4 rolled out, I'm sure there were, I don't know this for a fact, but I'm sure there's a whole bunch of people really upset because the supposed detector company was not detecting the GPT-4, right? Or not detecting it well. So what they did is then they came up with a new model that is super aggressive, and in order to preserve their business. Because if you're a company that does AI detection, you're going to go out of business unless you detect things, unless you show people that you're detecting things. So they went super, 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 super aggressive in order to preserve themselves and not go out of business at the expense of false positives. For instance, this was actually a user just sent this in. This is a part of the Bible that is detected as AI written. 100%. This is AI written. I think we had the U.S. Constitution is detected as AI written. I have articles that I've had my writers write that were AI that are detected. What's unfortunately happened is a lot of people are getting screwed over. And I actually have examples here. These are all threads of students that have written their essay and is being detected as AI. So these companies are kind of screwing over a whole bunch of students and real people that are writing real articles because of their overly aggressive and false positive AI detection. So what we're doing is we're trying to stay in line with Google and stay as closely related as possible with Google, and using the same thing that they declared or showed in their research paper. And when Google does roll things out, they have to err on the side of caution. So I really don't think that anyone needs to worry, because that's kind of the idea. I think that what's going to happen is, I don't want to speak too soon, but I think these people are eventually going to get upset that their real content is getting falsely detected, and they're going to start revolting. Okay. So the way we run through our content goes through multiple different models, and we have a whole bunch of technology in the background to make it stealth articles. And it is, it's very, very difficult for it to be detected. Anyways, cool. So kind of running through, I'm hopefully not running out of time. Hopefully this is helpful. I'm going to just make sure this is helpful for people. And okay, cool. So yeah, okay, good. Yes, very helpful info. Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, cool. I'm going to keep on going through the questions. I want to make sure I answer as much as possible. Hopefully you guys can understand that I'm going to get to as many questions as I can. Okay. Kenny, can I run through example of silver price? All right, cool. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. So let's say we want to rank for let's go here. A full example from start to finish. We want to rank for the silver price. Well, the first thing I would do is I would do silver price. And obviously you probably have a compared domain. You probably have a domain where you want to put it on. And I know that Forex market is very, very competitive. So this is definitely going to be one of those things where you're going to want to have a topical authority website. So topical authority is essentially this model, my personal ranking strategy, times 1,000, right? So you have your main keyword, and then you have supporting content. And then sometimes what happens is your supporting content has more supporting content. So it could actually scale. So I'm going to do another slide. So this could be supporting content tier 2. Okay, cool. There you go. This is kind of like your next tier of supporting content right here. And I'm going to make all of this green. So let's make it green. There you go. So this is kind of like the next level. And then you could get yourself backlinks. Let me kind of go and copy this here. And then you could kind of get backlinks underneath this. And this is essentially, the typical silo structure that people talk about. And if you want to rank for a very, very competitive keyword, like a silver price, then this is the type of model that you would use. By the way, I want to make one thing clear. This is not necessarily the homepage. So if you're trying to rank for a very competitive term, I don't recommend you try to rank the homepage for that competitive term. This is going to be like, this would be like, I don't know, let me give you an example, a tier 1 article. So this could be your website, so site.com/silver price. There you go. So this is how I would have it. And then underneath this, you could even have, you don't need to have the URL structure like this, but you could have silver mining, I don't know, silver historical, there you go, historical silver data and so forth. And this is how I would essentially build out the website. Now, this is there we go. So now we have a report for the silver price, and I have my word recommendations. So these are all the top words I would definitely want to have for silver price. So whenever you have your content here, you're going to want to use all of these words. So I could actually take an article and compare it, but this is what you would want to add. Highly related words. This is like looking into the AI's brain. You want to use things like gold, metals, quotes, ounce. When you're looking at the price, you're going to want to be mentioning market and so forth. And then what you're going to want, anyways, here as well, we have page classification. So you want to make sure that your page lands in commodities and future tradings as well, because another on page helps you rank or optimize on 3 different levels. So we help you optimize by looking at the search landscape. So these are the terms that everyone else is using. We also help you optimize by looking into the AI's brains. These are the most closely related words, like semantically related words to your article. And we use Google's categorization engine. So this is actually asking Google which category it puts it in. So here we can see that every single page on the top ranking listing is in finance, investing, commodities, and future trading. So that means that when you put your page, you're going to want to make sure that it is in this category as well. And then we have obviously a cohort analysis here. Topical authority questions, which I didn't have time to really cover, but these are the questions you want to answer on your website to make sure and demonstrate that you're an authority on that subject. And then supporting content right here, we have a whole bunch of supporting articles that we could create within minutes that would support it. So for instance, once again, I could take all these articles, send to Stealth Writer, investing in precious metals, gold versus silver. What factors influence the price of silver? That's such an amazing title and article. So for instance, if this is your silver price, then this right here could be, whoops, I'll make it bigger, but like you get the idea. What is the price of silver? And then you go back here and the next one would be how to invest in silver. That's an amazing supporting content as well. So hopefully you can see how you could build this out really quickly and get yourself ranking. So hopefully that kind of explains as much as I can within like a few minutes on a strategy for ranking for one of the most difficult, like for an extremely difficult term. So price of silver and price of gold and all that, and buy gold, I know is extremely, extremely competitive, but it is also very, very lucrative. So very profitable to do that. All right, cool. So now I'm gonna keep on going. Hopefully I'm answering as much as I can here. So start link building, category pages. Yeah, that's great. Good job, Bill. Okay, so yes, sometimes, yeah, perfect. Okay, I've been meaning to message you regarding a website structure. Okay, we're talking about website structure, and okay, cool. So let me kind of show this question, right? So I'll show this question because we were just talking about structure. So this is what we currently have. This is our before. And should we modify the structure to, hopefully you guys can see this is big enough. Should I do this to after? It won't change your rankings. So these days, it's kind of out of date to have like a .php at the bottom. You can have it like this, but this will not change your rankings at all. In fact, there has been case studies performed saying that the shorter it is, kind of like the closer it is to the root, the better it will be. So your ideal structure would not be this. Your ideal structure would be kind of like Gucci handbag repair. But what's happening a lot of times is you don't necessarily want to repeat the same handbag. So most of the ideal structure would be example.com, and you would have example.com / handbag repair. And you want to reduce the amount of dashes you have. So you could have a few, maybe one or two is fine, but you want to avoid things like this where you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In the recent Yandex leak, so Yandex is a major search engine, and their source code leaked out recently. In the search engine, there was a ranking factor that looked at how many dashes a user was using, and it was a negative ranking factor. So because Yandex uses it doesn't mean that Google uses it, by the way. So first, I want to make that very, very clear. It's not because they used it that, Google is doing the same exact thing. However, it does give us a hint and an insight that Google might be. It's possible. So what I would try to avoid is having a whole bunch of dashes. And instead, what I would probably do is this would be kind of a better structure. Example, handbag repair. And then here I would have Dior and Dior repair or something, or Dior. You could even have like this. And if it's very similar, this would usually be a good structure for your article, because you're going to get it in the URL. You're going to get handbag repair in the URL, and you're going to get Dior, so that you could have your article here, and then the title of your article can be like handbag repair, repairs for Dior handbags, right? So you put everything in a title tag, but for your URL structure, you kind of want to lump everything into a small thing, and then you want to have a shorter one. However, all things being equal, like a shorter URL will outrank. So when you're closer to the root, let's say you have someone just like Dior handbag repair, this would in theory rank slightly better than this according to tests. So you want to keep them as short as possible. Having them too long, and you want to make sure you're avoiding using too many dashes in between. So hopefully this will be useful for other people as well. Like I know I'm answering specific questions that might not, not everyone's into handbag repair, but hopefully this is kind of like instructive and just helps you rank, right? So I'm here, to share all the SEO tips that I have. And sometimes you'll hear someone else's tip and you'll be like, oh yeah, I could totally use that. All right, cool. So what's the best way to handle info blog content on e-commerce sites? Should it be able to be siloed and link back to the show? Oh, actually, that's hilarious. We're all right on topic. Everyone's cool. So what's the best way to handle info blog content on e-commerce sites? Should they all be siloed like any other info website and link back to the product, which have their own structure and that is separate? This is, so they should all be siloed, exactly kind of like we kind of outlined here. The only thing I want to mention for some websites is, kind of go back, is if you have a blog, sometimes I like having blog.ecommercesite.com, and then I basically have WordPress on this. So sometimes I'll have a different subdomain for my WordPress installation for my blog. You don't need to. You can have your e-commerce site. You could have ecommercesite.com/blog, but the only downside is you want to make sure you don't have thin content. Make sure no thin content, because what happens is I've seen a lot of e-commerce websites with like really crappy blogs, and then blogs portion of it brings down the e-commerce site. So make sure that if you have a blog, make sure it's a high quality blog and it's not bringing down the rest of the e-commerce site. Like this is more independent, and then you could link back some of the articles back to your products. So this is a bit safer. This is also good. This might potentially even have slightly more benefits, but you got to be careful and make sure there's no thin content or any issues with the blog, or that the blog's not screwing up the rest of the website. So that's the only thing I want to say. But in terms of the structure, it should be the same. Cool. Okay, Bill says, I have the same concern about AI's detection. You have to believe that Google's detection will be getting better. That's actually a great point. Let's go back to the AI detection. Google was very smart, in my opinion. And this is all my opinion. You feel free to do whatever you want with this. But I believe that when we look at the web in 5 years, it's going to be commonplace to have AI written content, and every news organization is going to be using AI content. I think it's just becoming more and more and more prominent. And what Google, I believe, we were very smart and strategic, and not in saying that they don't mind AI content. What they're really looking for is helpful content. So when we develop the stealth AI writer, we made sure we provided helpful content before anything else. That's the main goal, and that's what Google said that they want to do. And one of the tricks, or one of the reasons, and one of the things that we do to do that is we figure out what the search intent is. What is the person looking for when they're looking for understanding the psychology of communication? And we're gonna like flat out give you an answer, like understanding the psychology of communication involves recognizing and understanding body language and so forth. We make sure that you have helpful content. So I think that Google is very smart in knowing that, because they knew that eventually, and even with GPT-4, it's very difficult to detect. I think that most people that are detecting things, they're actually false positives. So I think Google is going to have to be very, very careful with what they do, because ultimately they don't want to, they want to make the web better. They don't want to just penalize a whole bunch of like top 500 websites or top 1,000 websites. For instance, you could actually check. You could actually use right now AI detection. So we have one of the world's, I think, only or mass AI detection. So what we have is you can put in a whole bunch of URLs. Let me put in a whole bunch of URLs where we had, where was it? I had a life hack. Whoops, it's not what I want to do. Hopefully this is going to work. Life. There you go. Cool. So I ran it on lifehack.org. Now, Lifehack, we all know Lifehack is a good website, right? We all want Lifehack to rank, but we detected some content right here. So if Google were to go out and penalize all these people, they would be slapping down websites like Lifehack left and right for some of this AI content, which makes, in my opinion, no sense. So that's why they really have to err on the side of caution rather than being super aggressive, as opposed to the detection companies, which are, their entire business model is the more they detect, the happier people, the more they detect, the more people are going to give them money. So if they stop detecting things, people are going to stop, they're going to lose their business, which is why they have a big incentive to just go crazy. Okay, cool. And by the way, like, I'm just going to go back one more time in terms of the false positives. You could just do, here, I could literally open this, like I'll open the link, and you could quite literally see people just saying, hey, it's been detected. What am I going to do? Being falsely accused. We have things like I have multiple screenshots. I only included one, but this is literally the Bible that's being AI detected. Like the apostles had AI writing back in the day. I don't know. So it'd be weird if Google started banning these things. Cool. So, all right, cool. So hope we receive a recording. Usually there is no recording for these things. Because I go in, I want to share as much as possible. I want to kind of just help as many people as possible, but also show specific examples. These are office hours or kind of Q&A where I don't dive into, I don't usually make this public. So yeah. All right, cool. Kind of wrapping up right now before I start losing my voice. One thing I do want to mention, I think most people here right now are using OnPage. If you're not using OnPage and you do want to kind of jump in, the super easy way to sign up is you go to onpage.ai and you click on sign up, and then you're going to register your email. Once you're inside, you're going to see an activate your plan. And here you could choose any plan that you want. Our most popular plan is going to be the AI Create 100 because it has 1 million AI credits. You can do all kinds of things like the self-rewriter, the auto-optimize, everything. And also a lot of people, if you're just on the fence, to start with the SEO standard. And the only plan that's different is going to be the light, which is kind of, which doesn't have all the features, but you do have the on-page scans and so forth. Now, Cindy says, I'd like a plan between the $499 and $199. I agree. I've had a few requests for this. Maybe a $250 would be nice, somewhere in between. I 100% agree, and I just don't have, to be fair, I actually don't have space to fit it on, because we have people using the Ultimate 1000 and they even want higher. So I don't know how I could fit all of this and still have the Ultimate 1000 or even the Ultimate 2000. And the Publisher 500, people want something in the middle. So I get it. I'll maybe see if I could do a custom 250 plan or something. I don't know, but we only have, to be fair, it's really is a matter of space. It's a matter of space. where we don't. What we've had, and this is, I'm going off tangent here, but we've had agencies start selling so much more, so many more services, and I've found some of our articles being resold at other places. So I found some of these stealth articles being resold. So some people are actually have the AI Publisher 500, and they're basically making money by selling the products of it. So they're like, oh, cool, I could create up to like about 500 articles. So they're selling, like, let's say, I don't know how many, I don't know what they're doing, and I don't, they could do whatever they want with it. But if you sell like 200 articles, you're going to make that money back really quickly, and so forth. Yeah. So, yeah, if anything, I'm gonna, it's been definitely a request that there's kind of a 250. Would a 250 be good, I guess, Cindy? This is not, so I'm gonna try to figure out if there's a way we could do that. Otherwise, right now we do have, like I say, the Create 100 is the most popular plan, and we've actually had people. Okay, I don't know why I'm even mentioning this, but we have people with 2 accounts. So sometimes people will have the they're gonna do editing on one, and then they use one exclusively for AI articles that they're creating. So they have one account, and they don't want to use the AI credits for anything else. So they just reserve that one for AI creating. And then they have another account for doing all the other like scans and all that stuff. But it is better. You're going to get more money out of it, like more value if you just get a bigger plan. But, I'm mentioning it just because I figured it'd be appropriate. All right, cool. So gone through quite a lot of questions. I hope this helped everyone. I hope it's been beneficial. Thanks for hanging out with me. This was on this, thanks for hanging out with me. It's a lot of fun. I appreciate seeing, because I know everyone here is an SEO expert. It's not like you guys are just getting started. So I appreciate your time, and I really hope that you get a lot out of it. If ever you have any questions, you could always email me or email my team actually at team@onpage.ai. So I'm going to show you the URL, or you could use the feedback widget on the right-hand side. My team will get back to you, and you could, like, I'm going to go like on page. I'll show you the email. This is our email right here, team@on-page.ai. If you have any questions, anything you need, if ever you want, this is the best time to sign up. I actually don't mention this enough, but OnPage does so many things, and this is absolutely the best time to sign up if you're not, and also to upgrade, because the plans, we are going to be introducing new features, and as we introduce new features, the plans change over time. And if historically, if you've been following me for a long time, the plans have changed quite a bit, and as we add more value, usually the plans go up. So now's the best time to lock in your rate if you haven't. And otherwise, if you guys are enjoying it, or you use OnPage, you get great results, please share it with the world. We've been growing almost exclusively organically by word of mouth. I do put posts here and there. I try to have one webinar or 2 here and there, but really it's been word of mouth. It's been recommendations from SEO experts in the field. People are actually doing SEO that people trust the most. So it's one thing for me to say it, but as if you're saying it and you're on this call and you're like, oh, cool, look at a result I got, that helps 10 times more. And I actually go out, by the way, this is kind of a complete random side fact, but I go out on Facebook, on Twitter, and I look at the traffic sources. And if I see you recommending OnPage, I'll make sure to reward you and hook you up. So anyone that recommends OnPage, feel free to tag me or add me or mention me, or just literally, email me and say, hey, I recommended OnPage, and so forth. And I notice, and I appreciate it, and I make sure to help everyone that helps us grow. So thank you very much. I will wish you a good day, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care, guys. See ya.